Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, The Immortal Hulk, Threshing Place. This was a surprisingly good book. Knowing who's on this book, knowing what we can expect from this book, it was still a surprisingly good book. Did not expect it to be this good. Before we start giving any more praise to this book, and several complaints that I have, plus a bold statement, first we're going to get into who made the comic book. So this is The Threshing Place. Jeff Lemire is the writer, Mike Del Mundo on art. He also does the cover and half of the colors. The other half of the colors is done by Marcio D'Alfonso, and VC's Corey Petit does all of the letters. Joe Bennett, Roy Jose, and Paul Mounts does the variant cover, and Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created the Hulk. The Immortal, well, that was Al Ewing. So we get Banner basically going off on a bus to try and investigate a missing girl. And we get something fairly similar to what I think that we were expecting from this. I don't have any complaints about that. This was actually really good. I enjoyed seeing Banner. Mind you, we learned in the first 10 or so issues of The Immortal Hulk by Ewing that Banner can't seem to access his mind the way that he normally would. The thoughts don't come to him as fast. They're not as intelligent. He can't seem to tap into his gamma research as much as he usually would or usually could. He's a little bit dumber in this aspect now. The Hulk is definitely quicker on his feet, including in the mind department. He's still not, 7 PhDs or whatever, but yeah, he's still a little bit faster. So I understand when he got that laser focus and started acting really stupid when he was getting punched and beaten up with the shotgun and had the gun squished in his face and threatened to be killed, because you could panic that way really easily. Remember, there's fight, flight, and freeze. And each one will get you killed in a different situation, right? Only some of those situations will each actually keep you in a survival mode for. Like, case in point, sharks and T-Rexes, that's freeze. That's what's going to save your life. Aside from that, it's probably going to get you killed. Anyway, this was seeing... So the Hulk didn't go back and go after the people who'd hurt him before. Well, not after the one guy who hurt him before, but when you see what Banner had, you'll understand why that guy went after him. See, when I first saw this cover, it was actually the image of this image in another book. I thought, is that like the Hulk holding up a sunflower on a freaking fork? Like, what's going on here? Did he go vegan or something like that? What's going on here? I don't need anything with a face. Meanwhile, there's a big old face in it, right? So I'm thinking to myself, what the frick is this? But then I actually get my hands on the book. I'm like, that looks like a hair clip. Yeah. When you see where he finds the hair clip and who he sees with it, or who sees him with it, you kind of understand why what happened actually happens. It goes a little further than that. So here's some parts that I don't like about the book. I don't like that the Hulk kills in this book. And there's some really graphic images in here. We're going to get to Del Mundo in a minute. Basically, the Hulk kills people. And in some very fun ways, too. Like the thing with the popcorn. That was a good kill. That was good. And yes, my peeps, that was a good kill. You have to look at what the giant-sized, low-fat butter container, what that was actually analogous for. All right? That being said, I don't like the idea that Hulk kills. We've already established long ago, including recently by Ewing, who said that, hey, guess what? Hulk, with all of the property damage that he's done and all the physical structure destruction that he's done, he's never actually killed anybody before. Hurt some people, sure, but he's never actually killed anybody before. You know what I'm saying? That's just not who the Hulk is. And in here, he actually goes around and starts killing people. Look, accidents aside, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, it is what it is. But in this particular case, like, he's actually actively killing people in here. Now, you might say, well, it's understandable once you see where the second hair clip was found. Yeah. It's still the Immortal Hulk, and he shouldn't change. Like, there should be different, well, not that kind of a change. He should still stick with the idea of, I don't kill. So I really didn't appreciate seeing that in here. Yeah. As far as everything else in this book, I liked it. Let's talk about Del Mundo now. So there's going to be some people who clearly aren't going to be happy with the choice of art in this book. So there's going to be some people who aren't overly familiar with Del Mundo who are going to be like, yeah, I really don't like Del Mundo's work. Hold on a second there, Chief. Del Mundo, the more you get to recognize his work, he's something of a chameleon. He can insert himself without you even realizing that he's there. You know what I'm saying? He can imitate other people's styles. I can go with Sejic. I can go with Ramos. There's a lot of people who he can imitate their art style, and you never realize it was him and not them. You know, he's really good like that. So with this particular art direction, it's less of a direction, more of a choice. I don't know if Lemire or somebody else asked Del Mundo, could you draw this book like this? Or more likely, in my opinion, in my mind, I think that Del Mundo looked at the book, looked at the script and said, you know what I think would work with this book really well? So even if you don't like the direction, the choice of this book, understand that it was an active choice, one way or another. Del Mundo chose to draw this book in this way because that's how he wanted to interpret what we see. That should at least hopefully change your opinion. So this way, if you don't like the art in this book, you don't take it out on Ramos. I just said Ramos. On Del Mundo. You actually understand that this was just his choice to make it look this way. He could have made it look another way. If you wanted to see it another way, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But understand, this guy, he's got talents, like, forget about it, you know? One of the freaking best artists out there. That's hardly arguable. Anyway, I like this book. Here comes the bold statement. Despite the idea that there were certain problems in this book as far as, like, Hulk killing people and things like that, there was a great message in here. When you see the end and you see, we talk about choices with the art. Imagine if, like the last image that you see in here, no spoilers, but if Banner himself had some different direction, you know, when he got older, much like that little girl has direction now. Yeah, that's something else. That is genuinely something else. I really like that. I like the metaphor that we were left with there. I love what Lemire does. He's just got this knack. He's got this ability, like the Lemurian style. Yeah, Lemurian. It's not just freaking the blue or the green versions of Atlanteans. No. It's Lemurian. It's something entirely different. It's a story design. So, despite some of the problems that I've seen in here, that goes contradictory to what we've seen in the Hulk before and what we currently see in Ewing's current run, I still hope that when Ewing is finished with the Immortal Hulk, that Lemire is asked and that he accepts to step onto the book. Call it Immortal Hulk if you want, call it something else. I really don't care, but I want to see Lemire continue with the Immortal Hulk or just some version of the Hulk at some point in the future. I'd love to see what that would look like. Because, you know, this is not the first time that he's done a Hulk one-shot. But the problem is, it is a one-shot. You know that it's going to be completely self-contained. It's not really going to have too much to do with the main story. It's not going to continue someplace else. It's not. It's going to be here, and that's it. And we're going to get a resolution here. That's great. But that's short-form storytelling. That's like going to see a matinee or whatever, some prime-time movie theatrical feature, right? That's cool. It's always good to go and see a cool movie. You know, you get the good seats, you get the popcorn and stuff like that. You get a couple, you know, people massaging your feet. Well, what kind of crappy, chintzy movie theaters do you go to? Only the best for the professor. Anyway, and those are always fine. But you know what I like? I like the long form. I like being able to sit at home, Netflix, little chill, same women massaging my feet. What? I travel in style. And anyway, I like the idea of seeing a TV series. So whether you binge watch a TV series, like in the form of a trade paperback, or if you like to watch it episodically, much like floppies, that's me, You're going to be able to enjoy knowing that the story is going to continue. It hasn't reached a climax. While you might have, this was a great story in this issue, and now it's going to continue in the next issue, that's the kind of thing that I want to see. Seeing Lemire do a couple of, really awesome oversized one-shots, I'm never going to complain about that. But the opportunity to see him take on the Hulk, seeing his interpretation of the Hulk, even if that means he's got to start killing people once in a while, okay, fine, I'm still interested in seeing it. I'd love to see, what is the Punisher going to have to say with that? What is Wolverine going to have to say about that, right? What is Captain America going to have to say about that? This is the kind of stuff I want to see. These are the kind of answers, questions that I want answers to. I would love to see Lemire jump on this book after Ewing is good and done with his stories, and he's told the story that he needs to tell. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Anyway, guys, that's really it for me. Threshing Place, like I said, I may be a week late, not $1 short, though. This was a good book. I enjoyed this, even though you could have completely skipped it. You could completely skip this issue and not be at any loss for the main story. But at the same time, it's an Immortal Hulk issue, and it's Lemire. So there's that. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Like the video, watch an ad. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.